What's going on, y'all? So listen.
What's I have to get myself together, y'all. Listen, what's going on? I hate being right sometimes. I really do. Oh, this is The Shy, Season 6, Episode 6, Boys to Men. Girl, this episode, I knew it just, maybe it didn't feel it for y'all, but it felt it for me. Like, it just felt kind of heavy. As soon as it came on, some of the certain scenes just was like putting me in an emotional state or whatever. I was just like, oh my God, is this person about to cry? Is this person about to have a breakdown? Oh my God, I'm a little nervous about what's going to happen. And then what happened at the end? I just said, Jesus Christ. But anyway, we get into it. And Kiesha done found some money. Remember when either Nuck or that other boy that worked for Duda came to, what's his name? Emmett's door and dropped off them bags and just dropped it there, whatever. He basically put some money up in there, told Emmett to hold on to it. Tiffany found it, or I should say Kiesha found it. Tiffany wasn't in this episode. She done found it, showed Emmett, and basically was like, this is what I told you, okay? You are in bed with Duda, and I've been trying to tell you that he is not a good dude, and you need to not have any association with him, and to the point now that he's in too deep. His whole thing, he made me mad when he said, well, I got to pick up the slack because you ain't working now and all this stuff. No, baby, don't put it on her. Do not do that. I really did not like the fact that he mentioned the fact that she was not working. She's not working because she just lost her job. Literally 5 minutes ago lost her job. You have been working with Duda for a while. You signed your business over to him. You're getting clothes from him. You got a house from him. You got cars from him. You got all this stuff from him. And you're holding his money plus a gun. And you gonna come at her with that line, well, you done lost your job, so I gotta do more. No. First of all, prior to her having a job, you were still doing this. Second of all, with her having the job, I'm pretty sure it really wasn't bringing much into the household because I don't know if she was working full-time or part-time or if she was an actual full certified teacher to get a full salary job position, right? So that's that. And now you're trying to act like you're going to take care of the situation because, you're in too deep with Duda and this is a bad look. You go over there. He went over there to Darnell's house trying to get the gun, right? He tried to get the gun, baby. Darnell said, what do you need it for? And he said, if I ever need some help or whatever, if I ever need it, you will give it to me or whatever. And so right now, I need it. And I feel bad for Darnell. It's like mixed because when we first got introduced to Darnell basically was a deadbeat. Darnell let Jade raise Emmett by herself all those years. He probably peeked in here and there, but he practically let that woman be a single mother, went off to have other relations with other women, which is fine because that's what people do. But not only that, you had other relations with other women, got married or had girlfriends and had kids, and you were in their lives to a certain extent, to a certain point, way more than you was in Emmett's life. And now we don't even hear nothing about those kids. Like, it's just like Emmett other kids. If it ain't Kiesha's son, that's not Emmett kid, but he got to be around because he's with Kiesha. Or if it's Tiffany's son, the other two sons that he has, we don't hear about them. We don't hear about them no more. We don't see the baby mama no more either. The baby mamas. Because we did see him at least once or twice or whatever in a couple of other seasons. And we saw that Darnell had other kids, but it's like, he got married to his mama, Jade, and it ain't nothing else. We don't hear nothing else. We don't see him going over there to the kids. We don't see the kids, the exes coming around or whatever, like with Emmett, and it's just so, So I feel iffy about that, and that's just because of the way that they wrote it. But now he's trying to actually be a father to Emmett now that Emmett is a grown man to a certain extent. But I do appreciate the fact that he at least is trying to look out for him on this front. Like, bro, you don't need to be doing this. And regardless, I'm still your father. I still want to be involved. I'm still concerned. He did give him the gun. And you could just see the look on Darnell's face that he's getting himself in trouble. And he knows that his son is in it deep, 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 deep. And for Emmett to go to the house and to be practicing in the window, getting all bucked up in the mirror, whatever, talk about something. You ain't gonna punk my family. You ain't gonna touch my family. All that stuff or whatever he was saying. I'm sitting here like, put it down. What do you need that for? You by yourself is not going to be able to go after this man. All right, you are not going to be able to go after this man off of just pure adrenaline and without making a plan and just going full force. You don't know. You're going to get yourself hurt. You're going to get yourself killed. And sure enough, this fool runs down there. And I was just waiting to make this. I thought this scene was going to be probably like a dream sequence or whatever, what he was dreaming up and what he thought he could do and what he really wanted to do by getting that dude out, putting the gun in his face, whatever, confronting him, telling him that he want out and all this stuff. Girl, that was real. Emmett really went down to that chop shop and put that gun up to Duda and said basically, I want out, motherfucker. You gonna do this and you gonna do it. I said, Emmett, girl, I was sitting here like, oh my God, Emmett about to die. Now, when a motherfucker turns around and put his forehead directly to the pistol, to the muzzle, baby, at that point in time, I would have just put the thing down and said, you know what, you could be my ass right now, okay? Because you caught my bluff. You caught my bluff. You know, I just want you to know that, you know, I ain't no punk bitch, okay? I just want you to know I can stand up to you when I can and when I should. But you know what? I really wasn't going to do nothing to you or whatever. But at the same time, I mean, I got to give it to Emmett for at least trying to stand up. But it's like a little too late. It's a little too late. You know what I'm saying? And like Duda said, if I go and if you get out, that means the house goes, the Benz goes, the clothes goes, and the business goes. And he was like, okay, what if I pay you back? And he was like, I mean, yeah, you could pay me back and then we could talk about it. He said, no, bro, I'll pay you back. And once I pay you back, we're done. He said, Duda said, when you're not in control, you can't make demands. I said, damn. Emmett thought he had him with that one, but Emmett got him later, okay? Because he basically said, I'm going to do this. Listen, after he done knocked Emmett down on the floor and he was talking to him and all that stuff, he took the gun. Don't you ever, you know, one of those motherfucking things that he said, don't you ever come at me like this. And it was like, I'll kill your ass. And he said, listen, you try to kill me, it's going to be more people there. You can't kill me because the city going to ride for me. He said, you really think you that important? He said, yeah, I know I'm that important. And I know the city is going to ride for me. Okay? The difference is, niggas ride for me and they love me. They only work for you. That's it. Baby, when he hit him with that line, I said, shit. Emmett kind of got him like that because he just sat there like, he stood there like, okay. I said, because you know it. You know exactly what it is, right? And I was just like, damn, Emmett, you just in too deep a little bit. Meanwhile, you got this whole situation with Vic. The FBI agent comes there, shows him a picture because at first he said, you know, he don't have no dealings with Duda, never had no dealings with Duda, whatever, nothing like that. Of course, he lied a little bit or he didn't tell all of the truth. But then the FBI agent had a picture of him in the car with Duda as he was getting in the car. Damn, what's this? Hold on one second, y'all. My bad. My mom was asking me for the Disney Plus password. Girl, anyway. Yeah, the FBI agent showed him a picture of him in the car with Duda where they dumped the body. And he said, listen, I feel like that you are not a killer. Okay? I feel as though you're an accessory because you helped to dispose of the body, but I'm pretty sure you didn't kill. And so what I need you to do is either tell the truth or you'll go to jail, you know, if you don't and all this stuff or whatever. And so it was a good thing that, you know, Quincy was there so that he can tell them, listen, unless you got a warrant or something, he ain't got to tell you nothing, okay? And so now this whole thing of it with Victor, it's like I feel bad for him in a sense because I feel like this is something that happens with a lot of people who live the street life, get on the straight and narrow some way, somehow, and then it's always some reason or another where that their past keeps on coming back to them, trying to push them off the right course that they're going. You know what I'm saying? And so Duda is that for him. His dealings with him being in the street life is just keep coming back when he's trying to put that to the side, you know. And so now he's trying to figure out exactly what he needs to do and what he's going to do. Should he tell the truth? He got to tell Fatima. Fatima want him to just go to the cops and tell them, like, listen, this is what happened. I ain't got nothing else to do with it. But at this point, it's not that easy. It's not that simple, you know. They were talking about it at the house, and Jake came in. Now, see, Jake, let me tell you something. You know what? Kids turn 17, 18 years old and think they grown and they can indulge in adult conversations while they still staying at home with their parents. Baby, you are still a child. I'm going to just have to put it like that. You are still a child, baby. There are some conversations you probably can be allowed into, but still, they are still going to look at you like a child and just stay in a child place. And truth be told, this ain't nothing concerning you right about now. You do not want to be involved in this. I get it. That's your big brother and everything. But that just don't have no concern to you, because when he came home, they was like, can you go to your room for a minute so we can finish talking and all this? Why y'all don't never want to involve me and stuff? Because, baby, we don't need you to know this. All right, so you can't say nothing. They are trying to protect you. That scene kind of irked me, because I was like, we didn't really need it. And then the fact that we did have it, it went on that back and forth. It went on way too long. And I was just like, go upstairs. Go upstairs. Listen, you want to be involved in everything and you want to act like an adult, go move out. Okay, that's just what it is. Go get your own place so you won't have to be walking in on people just hushing up when you come in, because they don't want you to know what's going on. All right, I just need you to just do that for me. All right. Victor went to Pastor Stanley, Papa's daddy, and was talking to him about what went down and what do he need to do, and trying to get some advice. And he said, I can't tell. Oh, what's the code, bitch? What you talking about? I'm sorry. Two, four. Oh, damn, I'm sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. This is so... Anyway, trying to figure out exactly what he should do. Okay, should he say something? Should he not say anything? And the pastor, he basically was like, I can't tell you what to do. I could pray for you, and I understand what you've been trying to do this whole time, you know, because I misjudged you. You know, you being out in the street, but now I see that you are really, and then working with Duda at one point, you are really out here doing what you need to do. And I see that we're both trying to change the streets. I'm trying to do it with prayer. You're trying to do it the political way. I get it. But I was like, baby, that ain't really help. I mean, it kind of did. But I was like, I'm pretty sure he was sitting there trying to get an answer like, dude, should I say something, yes or no? He said, no, I'm going to have to let you figure that out yourself. So I could have figured it out. But I didn't have to come to you for that. But, next thing you know, we see him in his office, and he's sitting there talking to somebody, and he is putting it all out there. What happened about how Duda came to his door, told him, let's get in the car. I'm finna take you somewhere. I had no idea where he was taking me. And while we driving, next thing you know, I hear thumping up in the trunk. He pull over. We get out the car, and he open up the trunk, and I see Quincy's body up in there, or Quentin's body up in there. And, you know, he was still breathing a little bit. And next thing you know, dude, I put 3 more bullets up in him. I said, God damn, who he talking to? I know he ain't talking to the FBI. They told him to shut the hell up. Girl, he was talking to Rob. I said, Because he said, listen, I ain't no killer right now, okay? But I know somebody else will probably need to handle this, because Pastor Jackson, Stanley, the pastor, he said, but I do know a person like Duda, he needs to be taken out, okay? That's just how it's going to be. He needs to be taken out. And so, you know, at this point, that's when he went on ahead, Victor went on ahead and told, you know, whatchamajigga what was going on, okay? And so Rob, like, why you ain't tell me that? Why you telling me that? I said, why does it matter? Your mama just asked who the hell it was that did that to her brother. Now you got the information. Now go take care of it, okay? Mind you, he went and told Lady May, or I should say Alicia, and she said, first of all, it better be important that you are interrupting me in my lunch. I said, excuse me? I really want to know why they have so much tension. I need them to expound and explain that. Why are they interacting with each other like that? And, because when Rob wound up telling her that it was, he didn't even say the name. She figured it out, I'm pretty sure. But he didn't even mention Duda's name. All he said was, this is a pretty powerful dude, and I'm gonna need some help with that. And she said, well, you need to go get somebody to help you, get some people to help you or whatever, figure it out. And I'm just sitting here like, because he said, because I don't do that, like killing people, whatever, this ain't my business and stuff. And she said, well, I do. So I'm sitting here like, so the mama got Dylan's in the street. So obviously the family is like a street family organization that probably got some deep ties and they killers and all of that stuff. And maybe it's because Rob didn't want to be a killer like that. And so he just said, if I'm going to be in the family business some way, somehow, I'll just sell the drugs. I'll just sell weed. Not even the heavy stuff, just weed. That's what it feels like. But I need them to expound on that because Rob didn't want to do that. And Lady Mae was just, or Alicia, she was acting like, you're going to have to do this. If you want that $100,000, you're going to have to go ahead and get your hands dirty. And it feels like she always wanted him to get his hands dirty in this way, but he refused to. And now she got him in the spot where he has to because she's dangling at $100,000 on his head, just to get it. You know what I'm saying? I said, oh, everybody is twisted, Lies on his lick, I lick good. Unique. Anyway, I was just like, this is crazy. How are we gonna take Victor out? And after the end of the episode, bitch, Victor gotta fucking go. Okay? Not Victor, but Duda gotta fucking go. Alright? How we gonna take Duda out? I should have said. He has to go. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Baby, we need somebody to come in who bold enough to can take him out. All right, because y'all moving a little bit too slow. I don't know how many episodes we supposed to get this season, but all the seasons prior to this had 10 episodes. We are on episode 6 right about now. Now, I don't know if we supposed to be getting extra episodes this season, because we sure enough haven't done a mid-season break yet, okay? Because y'all know they always do like 5 or 3, or whatever. But we haven't did a mid-season break yet, and I hope we don't. Especially because of this writer strike. I really don't. Just give it to us all, okay? But you got that going on. This whole situation, moving from that, this whole situation with Dre, listen. Dre mama, listen, ma'am. At this point, I get what you trying to say. She out there at the job, and then she come out, she run into Monica, her ex, and Monica was like, you must be busy because you slowly text me back or whatever. She was like, you know what? I'm just trying to make it comfortable for my wife or whatever because, she's not comfortable. She came to her queerness late, and so she don't realize and understand that, lesbians, once they break up, sometimes they can be still friends with each other with nothing else going on and no ties. I said that's true to a certain extent. Depending on that. And I don't care if we used to, girl, y'all used to be engaged. You was about to marry this girl and you want her to be okay with y'all doing whatever y'all doing. Girl, no, I don't want to have any association with my ex or want you to have any association with your ex when you with me. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Unless y'all got kids together, I don't want no association. And it does feel like Dre doing this as a little get back. And even if, because she did have a little conversation, she had a little get together with Jade and Tracy, and she was telling them about it, and they was like, is that the reason why Nina ain't here? And she was like, no, but they like, are you doing this because, she had the little thing on the side or whatever, you trying to get back? And she said, no, that's not what it is. And I feel like it is, and if she don't realize that that's what it is, she probably doing it subconsciously. And she just don't realize that that's literally what's going on, because that's how I'm seeing it. From one lesbian to another, that's how I'm seeing it. It just feel like a get back. And sometimes when it comes to women and our relationship with other women, when lesbians especially, we are so emotional. Some of us, a lot of us, I should say, even the ones that want to be hard or whatever, we're emotional, okay? And when we love hard, okay? When we get attached hard. And so even if we break up, you're not necessarily broken up. It's just that, like, you're tied forever for the most part. Okay? You can be like, I wish that bitch dead. But at the same time, if that bitch call you up, y'all link up, y'all gonna link up. And you still wish the bitch was dead. But y'all still gonna do what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna forever tie together. It's deeper. It's so deep. And that's why it's a dangerous little situation for her to be talking to her, especially given how nice they acting to each other. She was like, oh, hey. I said, Now, when we first saw y'all talking the first time, and you was all like, well, you was the one that did this, and you was the one, you was giving a little toot or whatever, because it felt like you was still in your feelings, and it felt like Dre did not have closure on their relationship. And that's what it felt like while she's still entertaining and talking to. And I always know sometimes talking leads to most stuff, okay? And I'm gonna need Dre to back off, all right? I mean, two wrongs don't make it right. I wouldn't mind it, but two wrongs don't make it right. This is for the people that really got morals out there, because y'all could be like, oh my God, just because you got cheated on don't mean that you're supposed to cheat on somebody, that person or whatever. Two wrongs don't make it right. You are absolutely correct. That's what you want me to hear? That's what you want me to say? That's what you want to hear? You are absolutely correct. But a petty bitch like me, there it is. Anyway, moving on from that, Kevin had came over. Well, Nina and her had a conversation, and of course Nina don't understand it, and Nina don't want it, and I wouldn't want it either. And Nina probably feel guilty about, the whole situation about what she did, and feel like Dre probably using this as to get back at her, and she might do her the same way that she did her. Understandable. And while they in the midst of going off on each other, this is the second time they was in the midst of a little argument that one of the kids then came into the house without knocking. Baby, you can't get mad that them kids just popped up in their house and just came in without knocking, without ringing the doorbell, because they still got the house keys. Okay? Nina was like to Kevin, what are you doing here? You, just because you moved out, you're going to have to call before you supposed to come over. You're going to have to do this and you're going to have to do that. I'm sitting here like, well, they still got the key. You ain't take the key back. But Dre said, I forgot that I did tell him to come over, because that's what he said. He said, Dre told me I can come over. And basically, Kevin, Kevin was coming over there to tell them that, he decided to move to California. And I forgot to mention that in a review for last week, because at the end of the episode, at the end for him, he called the people and he said that he accepted the offer to go out there to California. And of course, I knew right off the bat that Nina was going to have an issue with it. And of course she did. And on the one hand, I get why she has an issue. She felt like he didn't tell her nothing about it. He been knew about it and all this stuff. And he didn't tell her. And it's like, how can you sustain your living? And you think that you're going to be gaming for your whole life, and you can't just be... Baby, it's people out here that be gaming forever. And if depending on how much money you make, you ain't got to be gaming forever. You can be set up for life, okay? But at the same time, Nina is a mother, all right? And Nina is probably still dealing with traumas in her life and the relationships that she was in. We don't see or haven't seen... I don't even remember. Have we ever seen... I think we did see the kid's father once, but we didn't see him again, and we don't know the ins and outs of that relationship, and it felt like it probably was some trauma that went on in that relationship. And then to realize that she was a lesbian, and she gets in a relationship with a woman, gets married, then you got to go through all the stuff that you went through with Kiesha, being kidnapped and all that stuff, and finally getting her back, and then you don't want to let her go, but then she leaves out, and now she's in the house with Emmett, and then he want to leave out and do his own thing. And that's one thing, to just leave from your mother's home and going down the block. You're still in the same state. You're still in the same city. I could drive down there, be there in a couple of minutes, or get on the bus or whatever, get in a couple of minutes, okay? But now you want to go across the country to the west side, to a whole nother state, and it's like, wow, you're my baby. And that mama's boy type of mentality. You know how mamas is with their boys. That whole thing. And of course, she's a mother. She's a mother first. Like, yeah, she's going to have some emotions and some feelings behind that with all the stuff that's been going on. And plus, also, Nina is just that... Nina just, I'm going to be real. Nina just gives me the feeling like she'll say no to anything. And she'll make a big deal out of anything, regardless of if everything was fine. She will still make a big deal out of it, okay? But, you got Dre that's on his side. When she told Dre, no, you be quiet and let me talk to him, because, this is between us. Kevin said She my mama too. I said, oh, he right about that? Like, no, I'm gonna have to listen. We gonna listen to both, okay? Like, she gonna have a say, and you have a say. But at the end of the day, I'm going to California if I've already, did what I had to do. And Dre understood both sides, and understood also that he has to grow up. And this is what he's doing for his future, and this is what he feel like he needs to do. Let him do it. You know what I'm saying? If he needs to make that mistake, let him make that mistake. Moving on from that, Bakari. Baby, the first time we see Bakari, Duda slapping the dog shit out of him with the muzzle of a gun. Fucked his face up. And then go tell Duck, and they was just pissed off at the fact that, he got the car stolen. The car was stolen. So he got the car taken. Once he got arrested, they took the car. That's why he was in the backseat of that car when he was coming home from the police station crying. Because he knew Duda was finna fuck his ass up. And he also knew there's a possibility that he wouldn't be able to see Lene no more. And so I felt a little bad for him. And this is the street life. He did try to go over there. And this is when we found out that, what the hell? Mama, what? Okay, she just said thank you. Don't text me any other time, but then every time I want to do a review or get on this camera or whatever and start talking, all the time everybody want to text me like, what do you want? What do you want? Anyway, but you heard Duda say that they couldn't get nobody to wash the money. They tried to go to different businesses, and that's what the other dude was saying. I tried to take to a couple of businesses, but, after Pastor Jackson and his speech or whatever about the devil and all that stuff, they don't want to do nothing that had nothing to do with it, right? And Knuck was like, don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of him and all that stuff. I said, God damn. And ever since then, I just, it was just really gloom and gloom when it came to Papa and his daddy. But we going to put a pause on there, and we going to finish, Bakari, because he went over there to Lene's house, and Nina came to the door and basically said she's on punishment. I was like, punishment? Ain't she 18? But I forget, she's still staying in the house, and they ain't graduated yet. Even though they graduate later on in the episode, they ain't graduated yet. But yeah, he couldn't see her, and I felt bad. And because he's in a situation where you can tell that his conscience is playing with him. He is getting connected to the people that Duda is trying to hurt or eventually will hurt. And I just don't know how this is going to play and end for him. And, he don't want to be in the streets, but he got to be in the streets because he wants that quick, fast money, because he's trying to do better for himself. It's a double-edged sword, because he don't want to do it the legal way, so he want to go do it the illegal way. And you could say that he kind of put himself in this situation because of that, and because of the way that he was brought up, and I really thought that he was gonna cry right there in front of her, because he was just so downtrodden. And she realized something was going on else, and asked him about his face, because his face was messed up, but he wouldn't say. And when he got down off the steps, Lene's brother showed up, and he gets in the car, and he was talking to him about what's going on. And he was like, yeah, what happened. I messed up, so therefore, I got to pay for the fuck up and all that stuff. You get it. And yeah, he was talking about you need to change your life and all this stuff. And he been trying to change his life and trying to beg for forgiveness from people that he hurt and all of that. And next thing you know, he starts saying, Lene is all that he has, his only reason right now to live. I said, oh my God. First of all, these little kids. But Bakari is going through it. All the kids is going through it to a certain extent. You got Gemma over there. Her daddy just don't. Daddy want her to go to college. Daddy really want her to give up this whole management stuff or whatever that she's trying to do. And he basically said either by the time you graduate, you ain't making no profit or whatever off this management stuff, you're going to have to go to college, even if it's community college or whatever. He said community college is if it's a bad thing and it's going to turn her off. She said that's fine. It's just as good as the Ivy League. This is such a 180 from what we saw Gemma when we first saw her. She was so stuck up and so all about getting into this school and that school and being perfect or whatever. And now she's not. She's more relaxed or whatever. I'm slowly coming back to her. I'm still kind of mad at her, but I'm slowly coming back to her. I do like the relationship that she has with Tiara now. And I feel like it's good to have somebody that's somewhat in her age range, like a big sister, but still a woman in the house, because she lived with a man the whole time. And now she has a woman to understand and to talk to and everything like that. So that was cool. But also, Tiara was telling, like, girl, you want to do this management stuff. You also probably need to, and you want to make some money off of it. You're going to need to get other people as well. Comes into play when Vince drops off Bakari. There's somebody sitting on the steps. Who is it? This stud girl. I said, who this stud sitting there? As soon as I seen, I said, oh, she a stud. That's his sister, Brittany, right? Basically, whatever happened when they're home, they got taken away from their parents. They got placed in different foster homes. And she been trying to pursue music. She was also in the street hustling, doing what she got to do. Now she came back to Chicago. She's trying to do the music for real this time. She's paying for it herself. She got the money. And, I felt a little twinge right there, too. I was just like, oh, my God, because you could tell he missed her. And you could tell she missed him. I was just like, oh, y'all not finna get me. And I said, girl, I'm on, so the emotions is already running around anyway. So I was just like, oh my God, this is kind of heavy, this is kind of deep, and so exchange numbers and all of that stuff, right? Then we get to Papa, because earlier the kids were taking their graduation pictures, and I like Maisha. Maisha was like, everybody can't be photogenic, but I gotta show you how to do this. I just love Maisha's confidence, okay? I really do love the fact that they wrote her character, not her being ashamed of her size, her skin tone, not her being ashamed of who she is, and not her being this downtrodden girl who gets picked on and bullied or whatever and insecure about herself and her weight and all that stuff. Baby, she wear that with confidence, she wear that proudly, and she be getting it in. And I just love that about Maisha's character. Because she sat down and she said, cheese, bitch. Papa really wanted his picture to be real good. He was making a big deal about it. And I like the fact that they came in and threw the little confetti for him and all that stuff. That was really nice. I don't know what the hell Jake was doing in that picture, but he did something. Even the photographer said, that's what you call a smile? That's what you call a smile? I said, you know what? Some kids just don't ever grow up. But when it comes to, Kevin, Maisha confronted Kevin about the whole situation of him moving to LA, to California, and she was like, so I had to hear from the streets, and he was like, come with me, and she was like, what you mean come with you? I'm out here trying to do what I gotta do. And it was like, I thought you would want to go to LA so that you could be bigger, so you could get seen and all that stuff, instead of just trying to be a local rapper out here in Chicago. Baby, the way she said, you trying to put down my dreams because I want to make it out here instead of having to go somewhere else. I said, ooh. But at the same time, I get it. But also, you don't want to just be local all the time. But I feel like she thinking you got to start local first. Build yourself up, And I feel like, okay, I can get it then. I can understand that part of it. But, he was like, you can fly out. I can fly you out. And she said, first class, because I don't do coach. And she was like, you fancy, huh? I said, you know what? These little kids, I hope they make it, but I'm pretty sure that they not. But it is what it is, puppy love and all that stuff, first loves and all that. It is what it is. But Papa had this little, Papa had a Papa's Pulpit podcast episode that he was recording with his father. And when I kid you not, when I tell you Foreshadowing is strong, and it's been strong with Papa and his daddy, this scene right here told me everything that I knew that was going to happen. It confirmed what was going to happen, what I've been saying was going to happen. I didn't realize that it was going to happen at the end of this episode, but I knew right then and there that it was going to happen. If you go back throughout the season and you hear some of the things and the words that Papa's daddy has been saying, it's always about spending enough time. It's always about don't waste time. Don't distance time, because you can't get time back. And the way that they were just speaking to one another on this podcast, it was almost as if no one else in the world was listening, and they were just having this heart-to-heart moment with each other. And the tone of it, it was just very ominous, because you could just tell that it was sweet and bittersweet at the same time. And it was adorable and sad at the same time. He was like, what is it that you like about being a father? And he said, seeing you grow into the man that I know that you can be. Okay, but what is it that you don't like about being a father? The fact that it's a possibility that I won't be here to see you when you need me. And when he said that, I was just like, oh my God. And then later on, when he was talking to him in that particular scene, and he gave him the pocket watch that's been in the family for 5 generations, and he was like, you can never get time back. So here's this for you. And was talking about, you even look up to me and you're okay with the fact that I had got arrested. He said, people make mistakes. That's just what it is, right? And I was just like, that scene just kept on playing. And I said, oh my God, he's finna die. He's finna die. Next thing you know, you see Papa out with Kenya over at her place, and she asking, is he cool with it? And if he's not cool with her having a kid, it is okay to let her know. And he said, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? It is fine that you have a child. I don't like you any less. And it is what it is, And then Papa Daddy finds out that she got a kid and who the girl is. And he just started being very judgmental. Oh, no, you can't be with her. I forbid you from being with her and all this stuff. And woo, woo, you're not about to play daddy and all this stuff. And I said, I get it. But at the same time, you up here trying to live your life righteous, and you're talking about the Bible and all of this stuff. But yet, you're being sinful by being so judgmental. You're being so judgmental. And I just did not like that aspect. And that's part of the Christianity and these that I don't like. Y'all call everybody else out on their sins and their faults and stuff, but yet you be so judgeful by judging other people and doing all of that stuff, and not realizing that that's a sin as well, because y'all missed that part in the Bible, I guess, that don't apply to y'all. But hey, it is what it is. But moving on from that, they had a men's meeting, and Papa and the boys was there. Shy was talking about, he backsliding. And mind you, Bakari was there. So instead of saying he backsliding to the streets, he backsliding to having lustful feelings for other women, but he just wants them to hold him accountable. I was like, all right. Victor apologized to, what's his name, Jake, for coming at him the way that he did. And, saying that he got himself in some things and he don't want him to know about it, him get involved and, all of that. And so you got that going on. Then you have, what's his name? Emmett was saying basically he got himself in some mess. Okay. Gemma Daddy basically saying that, he's just trying to protect Gemma and all this stuff. And here comes Jake. She don't need your protection. She can protect herself. I said, Jake, just be quiet. Just be quiet. But then you got Papa saying, he just wishes Daddy would give him some space and let him do what he needs to do. And if he make a mistake, just let him make the mistakes and learn from them. And that could be applied to Gemma Daddy too. Like, if she makes a mistake, let her learn from it. Okay, she's gonna be an adult at some point. I know she's about to be 18 or is 18 and then graduate and all that stuff, but technically speaking, I still look at them as kids. You know what I'm saying? But they will have to go off and venture out on their own. And they can't have their parents around them all the time to tell them what to do and tell them what not to do and all this or whatever. You have to let them grow up, I really thought that was a good meeting for them to come together like that. And we do see that, they do graduate. Kevin was the speaker of the class, and he put it out there that he going out there to fulfill his dreams of being a gamer. And he said, don't let nobody tell you, ooh, why did my voice come out like that? Don't ever let nobody tell you that you can't do whatever it is that you want to do or be who you want to be. I felt like he was saying that to Nina. I really did. Y'all saw when Duda came up in there, and this was when I know for sure everything was finna hit the fan, because Duda came up into the graduation to get Bakari. Baby, what you need Bakari for at this point? And when Victor stepped in and Shy said, no, you not finna take him, Bakari sit down, the way Duda was looking like, oh, okay, Bet. And then when Bakari went over there and Papa Daddy was like, hey, come on over here, son, and he gave him a hug and all that stuff. Oh shit, the way that dude, I looked at that and he had that little smile on his face. I said, that little smirk. I said, get the fuck, baby. That, well, after the graduation, and then we was over at Papa's house, and you know, Papa wound up telling him about the girl again, and basically was like, don't talk about my girl. I'm gonna be with her. I'm gonna do whatever it is I want to do. I'm grown now. You can't tell me what to do or whatever. Let me be my own man and all this stuff. And he got pissed off and he said, I'm gone. And he said, if you leave, don't ever come back. You're not coming back into this house. Girl, he did walk out. And at one point, you saw Bakari even trying to calm Papa down. Like, no, Papa, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So the next time we see Papa and everybody, they over at Kevin's place and they having a little get together. I said, what apartment building is this that y'all got the music up this loud? I mean, y'all got the speakers and everything, and ain't nobody called the cops yet for the noise disturbance or whatever. Where is y'all at? And so they got what's his name? Not Kid Cudi, Lupe Fiasco, Kick Push playing, right? And then all of a sudden, Brittany was there, Bakari's sister. Lene was like, hello, my name is Lene. This is my man, Bakari. Bakari was like, it ain't even like that. This is my sister, Brittany, okay? I was like, girl, calm down. I said, y'all so possessive. Baby, she got up there on that mic and she did a little freestyle. Mind you, Gemma was there with them, and she goes over and was like, you know what, that's high, you know, you got a manager or whatever. Mind you, right when she came over there and she said, what's up, my name is Gemma, and Brittany was like, what's good, what you want to do, something like that. Baby, here comes Jake, this my girl, and he was like, okay, cool. Brittany was like, okay, cool. Anyway, back to you, Gemma. So what's good? She was like, you signed to anybody? Gemma is trying to get her clientele up, but they was flirting. I said, Gemma finna get, you know, at this point, Gemma goes wherever the wind blows. She goes from friend to friend, so I wouldn't be surprised if she go from gender to gender. I really wouldn't, because Brittany was putting it on thick, and you know, sometimes the girlies, they can get you. And don't really have to say nothing, okay? I was like, oh, and she got a little deep voice a little bit. I said, baby, her voice was deeper than Bakari's. I said, now, what's going on here? Put them blunts down, okay? So everybody having a good time and all that stuff. Next thing you know, we see over there, Pastor is at his house praying about what happened, asking for guidance. Baby, he is over his Bible. This man is praying to the Lord about his family and about his life. And a motherfucker came in and took his life out. I mean, strangled him from the back. I said, over the Bible? Wow, you are uncouth. And you are going to hell. Girl, I said, oh my God. And they had Pastor just laying on the floor like this. I said, oh my goodness. Y'all, I shed a tear. I said, like you knew it was coming, but you just didn't want to see it. And I didn't want to see it. And it happened anyway, and I was just so hurt. Because all I can think about is Papa in a way that he is going to have to live with the fact that the last thing he said to his daddy then was get into an argument. All right, y'all, that is the shot. I'm going to have to cut it off, okay? That was just really heartbreaking. Anyway, you guys, tell me how you feel. And I'm going to see y'all later. Peace.